Mr. Ramirez, if you want to go and step up to the podium, sir, and then state your full name and your date of birth.
Andrew Ramirez Perez.
All right, thank you. And we have the state appearing in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. Ashley Stetson for the state.
All right, thank you. All right, sir, you are here for a new case. This will be out of the Maricopa County Superior Court. The charge that has been submitted here today is 1 count of murder in the second degree, a Class 1 felony, with the offense date of today, September 22nd. In this matter, the Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you. You do have 2 court dates that are currently set, which are a status conference September 27 and a preliminary October 1, both at 8:30, and those will take place at the downtown Phoenix location for the Superior Court. And it is my understanding the state does want to address the court with respect to release in this case.
Yes, Your Honor. At this point, Your Honor, the state would be asking for bail to be set at $250,000 cash. Your Honor, this is a very serious allegation where the suspect is alleged to have been driving over 140 miles an hour on I-10. He subsequently is alleged to have crashed into a motorcycle that the victim was riding. Your Honor, created an explosion, for lack of a better word, on the highway with traffic going. Additionally, witnesses and the law enforcement observed the suspect to be changing multiple lanes at a time, to be weaving in and out of traffic. The victim then subsequently passed away shortly thereafter at the hospital, Your Honor. What's even more concerning, and most notably, is that the suspect has a pending DUI and criminal speed from July of this year, where he was almost in the exact same spot where the collision occurred. So given those facts, the state does believe that the $250,000 cash bond is appropriate. The state would also ask for no contact with the victim's family or friends, not to return to the scene of the crime, no firearms, no drugs or alcohol. In addition to that, the state would be requesting that if the suspect is released, that drug and alcohol testing be done and that electronic monitoring be put in place.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Ramirez, I will let you know that I did review the Form 4 in this matter, including the probable cause statement regarding the allegations that have been lodged against you here today. I've also reviewed your criminal history. I'm aware of the fact that while it's not a conviction, I do see that you had law enforcement contact for the prior DUI that the state just mentioned, which of course is very concerning to this court. I've also reviewed the victim impact statement that has been submitted and taken all of those into account in determining release conditions in this matter. I'll let you know I did consider a variety of bonds in your case, even higher ones, but I think that the bond that the state is recommending is very appropriate given the circumstances here today. I am setting a $250,000 cash-only appearance bond, and if you were to be released, it would be subject to the supervision of pretrial services, with electronic monitoring to be added to that. You'd also be subject to alcohol and drug testing and monitoring while on release. Your release conditions do include the terms that you are not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness in this matter. And when I say victim, I am including the next of kin of the deceased victim in this matter. You are also not to possess any weapons. You are not to possess or consume any alcohol. You are not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription. Ms. Stetson, is there anything else that the state wants to address before we conclude this hearing?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Ramirez, you are going to receive all of this information in your paperwork. If you do have any questions regarding anything I went over, I can go ahead and hear those now.
No.
All right, sir, if you want to step over to your left, we'll get that to you so you can have a seat at this time. All right, so we do have Travis Smith, and then Jessica Ochoa will be up after that. All right, so your full name and date of birth?
Travis Walker Smith.
All right, thank you, sir. So you are here for a new case out of Superior Court, and I apologize, Ms. Stetson, I skipped over you if you want to go ahead and do your appearance as well.
Ashley Stetson for the state, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. And sir, the charge that you are here for is 1 count of failing to stay with a death or injury accident. That's a Class 2 felony, and 1 count of manslaughter, a Class 2 felony. Those have an offense date of yesterday, September 21. The Public Defender's Office has been appointed to represent you in this matter. The court dates I have at this time are going to be a status conference set on September 27, preliminary hearing October 1, both at 8:30, and that's going to be at the Superior Court in downtown Phoenix. I know the state wanted to address release in your matter, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Ms. Stetson.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state would be asking for a bond to be set and $150,000 cash. In this incident, it's alleged that the suspect ran a red light at a very high rate of speed. He did collide with the victim's vehicle. From there, he did flee on foot. I would note also that the victim's vehicle was so horribly damaged that Phoenix Fire had to extract him from the vehicle. The victim did pass away at the scene, Your Honor. It wasn't until nearly 24 hours later that the suspect contacted law enforcement and asked to turn himself in. Law enforcement noted that the suspect had injuries consistent with being an accident. The state would note that it does appear that the suspect has a pending assault DV in Scottsdale, a prior DUI in Cochise County, and possibly a prior felony conviction in Cochise County, Your Honor. So the state feels that the $150,000 cash bond is appropriate. The state would also be requesting that there be no contact with the victim family or friends, no return to the scene, no firearms, if released, no drugs, alcohol, and include testing with that, and also, Your Honor, electronic monitoring.
All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Smith, I did review your probable cause statement as well, which was provided in the Form 4, so I'm aware of the allegations that have been brought against you here today. I have reviewed your criminal history, and you do have some history. I've also reviewed a victim impact statement that was submitted by the victim's family in this matter and taken that into consideration as well. I did take into consideration both the fact that you allegedly fled from the scene, and I've also taken into account the fact that you called subsequently and did end up turning yourself in on it. But I do believe that the bond requested here is an appropriate amount given the circumstances that you find yourself in. So you do have a $150,000 cash-only appearance bond. It is going to be subject to the supervision if you post bond, released to pretrial services with electronic monitoring that would be installed prior to your release from any facility. You're also going to be subject to alcohol and drug testing and monitoring. I understand that that maybe wasn't alleged as part of your charges at this point, but given your history, I do think that those tests would be appropriate in this case. So you're also going to be ordered not to have any contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. This does include the next of kin of the deceased victim in this matter. You're also not to possess any weapons, you're not to possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you're not to possess or consume any alcohol while on release. Any questions that you have regarding anything that I just went through for you?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we do need to reprint this one. We'll have to reprint his paperwork. I just made one change. All right, sir. And anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. All right, sir, you can go and have a seat.
And Your Honor.